What's up, geeks and gamers? Mike and I are back once again with another movie review, and today we're going to be talking about COPSHOP, the movie that just came out today that stars Gerard Butler and Frank Grillo. And Mike, I think you and I had quite a blast with this movie, but I want to hear straight from your mouth, what are your initial thoughts about COPSHOP?
I had a blast with this movie. That's all I have to say. I'm just kidding. No, I had
All right,
such a
review's
good
over.
time. Yeah, review's over. We're good. Listen, let's go get real jobs.
Yeah.
Listen, I had such
This is
a
all
great
we do.
time
We
with
just
this.
sit here all the time.
I've never gotten out of my chair.
Yeah, this is all we do all day long, 24/7. We just sit in this chair the
All the
entire time. Yep.
There's nothing else. I do this movie. So if you don't have an idea of what this movie's about, real basic premise: Frank Grillo gets purposely arrested because he's a con man running away from the mob. Gerard Butler is an assassin that also gets purposely arrested and put in the cell adjacent. And then chaos ensues because he's not the only person trying to kill Frank Grillo. And the only person stopping Frank Grillo from being killed is a rookie police officer played by, I want to make sure I get her name right, Alex Louder. Alexis Louder. So this movie is straight up an ode to like the 70s crime and action dramas. It is balls to the wall crazy. The music score is straight out of the 70s, which is awesome. It actually works. At first I wasn't sure what the aesthetic was going to be, and then the music kicks in and you're like, oh, it's that kind of movie. And right away it sticks to the premise. I had such a fun time. The action set pieces are fun. It's crazy. It's brutal without trying to be like gritty and realistic. Like, guns have as much ammo as you need them to have for what's scene appropriate. Like, you have a 6-shooter, you might get a 7th shot off if it's thematically appropriate. Like, guns that have like full clips might shoot like 100 rounds, even though probably only had like 40 rounds. It's all really fun. Gerard Butler, like in recent times, I don't think he's been as relevant as he has before. He did a great job in this movie. He was actually really good. Frank Grillo is a standout for sure. They both did an excellent job. They were great, but they weren't carrying the film. They just elevated the film. Alexis Louder, she's kind of a newcomer. She doesn't have a whole lot under her belt. And I'm going to be honest, because of the climate that we're in today, I was concerned that they were going to try to do Woman Strong and look how badass this female is. She's flawless in all her executions. Nope, she is a gritty, down-to-earth character. They show that she's a rookie. She makes mistakes. She has problems. She is way in over her head, but she is doing her best, and she does a great job. Like, she was actually really good in this movie. The supporting cast around this, there's a slight spoiler, but it's in the trailers. There's a second assassin that comes in, and this guy is like crazy. And he is so much fun. And he is just bananas. But like, all the characters are like big bombastic 70s, like I'm the con man kind of style. Like I
mean, they even look like 70s characters.
They really do.
And but it's all like in a contemporary setting at the same time. And it works. Like they do a great job with the movie. Like
I had such a great time.
Honestly, this movie is like the perfect example of how to do a really fun movie where it doesn't require like a lot of thought to watch the film or anything. You basically just go in, have a good time, and you are satisfied with the ending of this movie all the way. I think we both talked that we really want a sequel for this film now with the way that they ended it and stuff. So it was a really, really fun movie. And I totally agree. Like, I love the music. The sound design was another thing that I noticed was so good in this film too. Like,
absolutely.
The gunshots were amazing. Like, I don't know what they did, but they really just popped in this film. And it was really awesome. The characters were all really fun. Every single character was interesting and had a purpose for being there. And so it was really well done. The acting was great. What's her name? Alexis Louder. She was fantastic in this film, and I can't wait to see where her career continues to go from here. Like you said, when they first open up the movie and it opens up with Alexis Louder and stuff, and they kind of were doing like the whole gun thing at the beginning of the film, I was like, okay, so this film could either go two ways very easily. It could kind of stick to this 70s non-woke type of premise and stuff and carry through with that and make this a really fun movie, or they're going to try to make this the woman strong, really. This film could have easily have pushed a lot of social commentary and political like woke messages if they wanted to, even with like the police stuff and everything as well. And the fact that she was like a black woman in the police force and everything, they could have gone in a lot of directions with that, and they absolutely did not at all. And I loved that about this. It was such a breath of fresh air for sure.
It really was. One of my favorite parts is, it's such a small thing, but I loved too, is the police chief in the movie is straight up like the old school police chief.
Yes.
Like he screams at everybody all the time about everything. And like he's in his office, like screaming for a guy, like somebody to come to his office. And even somebody mentions are like, we have a phone.
Yeah.
Like but it doesn't matter because that's not this kind of movie. They also do something that I have missed in movies. So a lot of movies nowadays try to do they'll drop an idea or concept in a movie, and either they wait too late to show the concept, so when it comes back later, like a callback, it's only been like 2 scenes since the last time they've shown it. Or what they'll do is they'll drop an idea or a concept, or even something as small as like Chekhov's gun. They'll like show a gun in a cabinet, and then like a lot of times what they'll do is then they'll show a flashback to the gun in the cabinet to remind you, by the way, did you forget that this scene was in the movie? This movie does not do that, but it sets up and drops a bunch of little things here and there, and they all call back at the end. And some of them are super cheesy, but some of them actually work. Like one in particular, they show a scene, they never zoom in, they do not call attention to what happens. But I asked myself, I was like, I wonder if that's going to come back later, because that seemed relevant, and it absolutely is relevant in a really clever way and works. Which it was nice to see a movie cleverly do that. I also was expecting a different ending than what we got, but the ending that we got was actually better. Like at one point it looked like this is going to be the end of the movie, and I was like, this kind of seemed crappy. Like this is kind of dumb. Like I don't know. I just didn't feel like, I'm like, what's the point? Like, where are you going to go with this? And then they kept going, and then there was like 2 or 3 more twists that you could see coming, but that's the fact that they did it. You were like, oh, I'm actually glad you did something with that. Oh, I'm really glad you did something with that. And then, the way the movie ends is not the way I expected it to end, but the way it ended was better than the way I expected it to. And left itself open to like, I would watch the main character of this movie, Alexis Louder. I would watch her do another one of these movies in the same universe as the same character, and I think I could have a great time if it was the same writers and the same director. The cinematography is really good in this movie. It doesn't feel old school, but it also doesn't feel like it's trying too hard. The action set pieces, like I said, are wide open. They show a lot of it's fun. I had a really great time. I would give the movie probably it's not the greatest movie in the world. I don't think I'll write home about it, but I'd give the movie like a solid B+, A-. And I would tell you, if you want to go see something in theaters this week, there's not a whole lot showing. This is a movie to go see. It's worth your time. If it's showing on streaming service, I don't think it is. Watch on streaming services. But I would tell you right now, this is a movie to go see in theaters. You're going to have a great time, and support your local theater anyways. So like, you're not losing anything to help out a theater by going to see this movie. I had a blast. Yeah.
And the thing that I liked about this movie is that they weren't safe with a lot of their like creative decisions that they made with how they did a lot of stuff in this movie, but they still worked. Like, you know, like the unsafe things that they did with this movie still worked well for the movie, and I appreciated that. And Alexis Louder actually was convincing as like a badass character, which was great as well. I'm going to go ahead and give this movie an A-, and it's a totally solid movie for me. I would absolutely watch this movie again. So with that being said, make sure that you go check out our podcast, because Mike and I, we talk about all sorts of crazy stuff over on our podcast, the Epic Man Podcast. We are on YouTube. We also are on all of the podcast audio platforms. So make sure that you go follow us over there, and make sure that you also go check out Geeks and Gamers, the website, and sign up over there, become a member, and you get a lot of really great benefits for that. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and we will talk to you in the next one soon. So talk to you later. Bye.